Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guide. This is another episode of the Raycaster game in C++ series, and in this video we are going to add some more functionality to our editor by allowing the user to save and load from any file on the disk. So currently when we saved or load our map, we were only doing that from a file called test.map. Now we'll allow the user to, when the user presses save, we'll open up a file dialog. The user will be able to navigate through the file system and choose a place to store the file, and the user will also be able to open the maps that we have been created and basically be a bit more user friendly interface. So the main thing we need to do is we need to display a file dialog to his user first of all, but ImGui does not actually have any functionality for opening file dialogs and allowing the user to navigate through directories and all of that. ImGui by default does not have that functionality, but we can use this really cool extension called ImGuiFileDialog which will implement that for us. I think there are a bunch of different file dialog extensions for ImGui available, but this is the best one in my experience. It does a lot of stuff and you can customize it a lot and change it to whatever you like. But yeah, we are gonna use this one. So you can just go ahead and copy the link from here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a terminal here. So I'm gonna open up this terminal and let me increase the size of this. So we have got our terminal here. I'm going to go ahead and run git clone, and you just need to make sure that clone the repository.git here like that. You can see for me it says it already exists because I've already cloned it. You can see we have got here a bunch of files, but the one we need, three files we need are imguifiledilog config.h, imguifiledilog.h, and imguifiledilog.cpp. You need to copy all of these into the project directory. I have already done that, so I'll just move to the project directory. So once inside of my project directory, I'm going to, first of all, if you try to run make as it is, you will see it gives an error saying that imguifiledilog.h, imgui.h is not found. It's because it's trying to use the system include path here, even though imgui is in the same directory. We can easily fix that by opening up imguifiledilog config.h, and I'm also going to open up imguifiledilog.h, open up these both. So if I go under ImGuiFileDialog.h, you can see we have got a macro here called ImGuiInclude. Now this actually represents our include path. So we are going to go under this file for ImGuiFileDialog.h, FileDialogConfig.h, and here we can just define a bunch of macros to change the behavior of ImGuiFileDialog. So we are going to use hashtag define, and you can see we've got a bunch of these here. We are going to say ImGui actually imgui include, and we are gonna define this as imgui.h, like using the double quotes instead of the angle bracket. So I'm gonna save that, go here, and now you can see it does not give that error because now it's using the actual defined macro. Now I'm going to run make again, see whether it works this time or not. So since I'm on Linux, it actually should work quite correct. So let me just see. So you can see it's compiling ImGuiFileDialog.cp. It compiles everything and it does run, and we've got all of the editor options and everything we had previously. But I'm going to actually close this for now and exit. And if you're on Windows, this might not work that well. So if I go down here, you can see on Windows it requires Direct, I think. So you can see it is required to use it for Windows, but we can actually construct it to not use any of the custom stuff. So not use any custom Windows or Linux stuff. We are going to tell it to use the std file system, and this will require that we use C++17. We are using C++17, so we'll just say hashtag define use std file system. Now it should automatically try to use the std file system and not any other file system, because currently if I go here, you can see we have got a bunch of other options here as well, but we are going to ignore those. Just tell it to use the file system. If I run make again, it's going to compile everything again and it should work. So as you can see, it compiles imguifiledilog.cpp, and it takes a little bit of while, but yeah, it works. So we have got this here, and hopefully defining this should make everything work even if you are on Windows. And another thing that you can do is just include Direct as well. It was present in the original, when we cloned it, it was present in the directory. You can just copy it from there, and if you want to just use Direct and not use std file system, but we are going to use the standard library where we can. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up editor.cpp like that. It gives a bunch of stuff here. Let us delete the swap file. So I'm gonna open up editor.cpp, and in here we have got everything that we had in the last video, and now we are going to add another menu item in this menu. So I'm going to go here, add another if statement, if imgui menu item, and we are going to call this open. So if it this is going to allow the user to open a file, and we'll modify this a bit. And first of all, let me actually go under main.cpp, and in here you can see we are loading from test.map. We are not going to do that. Let's just save this. And open will not actually load from a specific map. Instead it will open up an ImGuiFileDialog. So I'm gonna go up here where we have got everything. I'm going to hashtag include ImGuiFileDialog.h, save that, and now let's go down here. We have got our open menu item. I'm gonna go down here after this, and we are going to say IGFD actually, which is the ImGuiFileDialog file dialog, which is the actual dialog, and it is actually aliased as ImGuiFileDialog, so we can just use that. So this we are gonna get this, and we are going to this is a singleton class, so we can get the current instance of this dialog by using this instance static method, and it will give us the a pointer to a file dialog, which we can use to do whatever we want. Well, we want to open a dialog, and this the first argument it requires is a key, which is a special identifier that we'll use when displaying our dialog. So we are gonna call this open dialog, and this needs to be same for all dialogs that have the same functionality. Title can be different. We are gonna just call it open. This is the actual one displayed at the top when we run this. And we have also got filters here. We are gonna say dot map. This will kind of represent the type of file that we are gonna allow the user to open. So with that, it should open up the dialog, but currently of course we don't display the dialog. So we'll add another if statement here. This will be ImGuiFileDialog instance display. We'll call the display function, and we'll need to provide it with a key. Of course, we are going to say open dialog, and this must match the key that we gave earlier. And in here we are going to, in the end, we are going to have to call ImGuiFileDialog instance and close. This is the way it works. And another thing we'll need to do is, if the user presses OK or cancel, then we are going to close the dialog. But we are also going to first of all make sure that we actually perform the correct action. For that, we are going to check if the file dialog actually returned successfully. If the user pressed cancel, we don't want to do anything, so we are going to go ahead and check is OK. If this returns true, then we are going to go ahead and open up the file. So for that, I'm going to actually open up editor.h, and in here we are going to have a public string here, std string, and you'll understand why this is public in a second. We are going to call this saved file name. Alright, and now we are going to go under editor.cpp, and in here we are going to say saved file name. Actually we need to save that. Okay, saved file name is equal to, we are gonna say ImGuiFileDialog instance like that, and we are gonna say get file path name. So we have got get file path name here, and it's got a bunch of flags, and one of the, by default it is that it will add the file extension. If it doesn't exist, we are going to leave the flags at default, and with that we are going to just say map.load with our saved file name that we have got. And let's go ahead and run that. So I'm gonna go here, run make, and what you should see is that currently we get nothing. Our scene is like completely empty. And then I can go here, I can go under file, go under open, and I can open up, we've got two files here. I created another one while testing this. I'm gonna open up test.map first of all, and you can see we've got this here, we've got a wall here, and if I go under the 3D view, we can see that we've got everything working. And I can go ahead and open up test2.map, which I created a while ago, and you can see now we get a wall here. Now we get a wall here because that's that's the main difference between test 1 and test 2 basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that and exit, and that means that this works. But now we need to work on saving the map based on the file name. So we are gonna go, currently we are saving to test.map always. That's not what we want. First of all, I'm gonna go here and say if imgui menu item, and this is gonna be save as. And if this menu item is pressed, then we are gonna say ImGuiFileDialog instance, and we are gonna open dialog, but the key is going to be different because the functionality is going to be different. So we are gonna call this save dialog. The title is going to be save as, and the filters just dot map for each of those. Alright, we have got this now, and now we'll go down here and yeah, that works quite well. So now let's go down here and we are gonna just copy all of that, this that we had, and paste this here basically. So this will be representing our save dialog. So let's go here, change the open dialog to save dialog, and if that's the case, then we are gonna set our saved file name, of course, but instead of loading from that file name, we are gonna save into that file name. So that works, and now we can go ahead and implement just the save functionality. So if the user presses save, if we have got a saved file name, so if our saved file name is empty, we are going to test that. If our saved file name is empty, then we are going to just go ahead and open up the save dialog. Now we can use the same key for that, because the functionality for save as and save is pretty much the same. However, we can change the title to just be save, like that. And then if that's not the case, then we are gonna just save the map into the saved file name. So we are gonna go here, instead of saving to test.map, we are gonna save it to saved file name. Okay, so let's run make here, and you can see we can move around, and that's working quite well. But if I go here, I can go under file, I can go under open, I can open up test.map, and here you can see I've got a bunch of stuff. I can modify this to my liking, and I can, for example, make a wall here, and I can make a bigger wall here, and I can basically do it like this, and I can go ahead and view it in the 3D view, and it should work correctly. And of course I can save this. So if I go ahead and save this, it works. It does not ask me to do anything. However, I can save it as test2 dot actually save it as test2.map here. So I'm going to save it as test2.map, and then I'm going to go ahead and change this, basically completely erase this thing that we created and replace it with a single vertical column of these. And I'm gonna go ahead and save that again. So if I save that, and I'm gonna close this, run make, we have got nothing here. We can go under file, open, and test.map, and you can see that we get this blocks here, whatever we had, and we can go under file and open test2.map, and now we get this here as well. So yeah, with that we have got this system working, and this is pretty much it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, in which we are going to add some more functionality, allowing the user to resize the map dynamically. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, and share this video with other people, and bye.